people get on me all the time. They say, wait a minute, Poso, you're going to Hungary, you're going to Poland, you were covering the protests in Ireland that kicked off. So if you keep saying MAGA, if you keep saying America first, then why does it matter when you go to these other countries? And my response has always been, because this is a fight against globalism. Okay. And the problem is that all of these countries are fighting globalism as well. And so it's an irony, in a sense, where in order to fight globalism, you need an international alliance of anti-globalists. So in Ireland, they're anti-globalism. In Poland, they're anti-globalism. In Hungary, they're anti-globalism. And so by working together, we can help to fight the same people, because, look, here's what it comes down to. I want Hungary to put Hungary first. I want Ireland to put the Irish people first. I want Poland to put the Polish people first. And I want America to put the American people first. And that's what it's all about. And so people talk about Israel, say Israel, oh, they're going to be Israel first. They say, okay, they're Israel first, but that's their fight. Okay, that's their fight. That's not our fight. That fight's there. Our fight is here. Our fight is the illegal aliens. Our fight is the migrant crisis, the invasion. Our fight is the cartels that are right on our border. We did a whole episode on that last week. That's what our fight is. So, Kev, walk me through some of this stuff, this idea that, 10 years ago, it's Trump came down the escalator and he specifically said, and I went back and watched the video and I posted it on Twitter this morning, that we need to stop getting involved in these Middle East wars, and we need to focus on getting rid of the illegals. And here we are exactly 10 years to the day, and we're having the same argument, aren't we?
We sure are. And credit to Ireland as well. They're not only protesting illegals, but legal immigrants, too. They're just saying, listen, we're past capacity. We can't take it anymore. They have a population of 4 million. Poland's about 37 million. And, their problem is a little more highlighted than ours, in a sense. I don't know. It could be ratioed the same way. We have 350 million.
That's America? Right. And Ireland typically has a policy of neutrality. So they were neutral in World War II. They weren't involved in World War I. But here we are in the United States. And originally, if you remember, all last week, Israel was saying, oh, we don't need America to get involved. We don't need this. Don't worry about it. We got this. We got ourselves. And yet this whole weekend, though, suddenly it's that, oh, America has to get involved. America has to get involved. This is our final chance to strike down the Iranian regime. This is going to be good for everybody. It's going to be great. Didn't they always say that? Didn't we hear that about Iraq? Didn't we hear that about Afghanistan? Oh, it's going to go so well. It's going to go so well. We just need a little bit of help, and it's going to go great. So, Kevin, isn't this where those kind of fault lines get a little messy, where people try to claim that the America first thing to do is to go wage war on some country in the Middle East?
It's ludicrous to see. And I appreciate what Tucker was saying on War Room today about this. And over the weekend, we had the Army's 250th. And if we're going to go back to 1776, well, what did George Washington himself say? He said he wanted America to remain an isolationist country and to stay out of everything.
Foreign entanglements.
Foreign entanglements. That's right. So, hey, we had a George Washington on horseback going down, what was it, Constitution Ave there?
Constitution Ave, yeah.
So are we going that way or what? I'm ready. So I still believe.
Let's just. Can I piggyback on that for real quick?
Sure.
Because Washington, people would say, oh, well, that was different time. Well, hold on a second. Washington wasn't an idiot. Washington understood exactly what's going on. First of all, he fought and won a war against the biggest global empire of the time, the globalist system of the time, if you will, the British Empire. They were the global empire. But America, founded as a republic, a nation state, was founded at a time when we were surrounded by empires, right? So think of it. On the U.S. continent, in 1776, you had the British Empire, so they were still up north in Canada. You had the Spanish Empire; they were down in south in Florida. They were in control, by the way, of Mexico and California. Sorry, Gavin Newsom. Actually, it was the Spanish who founded Los Angeles, not the Mexicans. So just want to be real clear about that. That's why it's called. Kevin, remind me again, what language is the words Los Angeles from?
Los Angeles, that sounds Latin to me.
So that's a European language. Just want to be clear.
so.
That's a European. And what about like Las Vegas and San Diego and San Juan and San Francisco and literally all the other ones? Also European. Just checking on that. Santa Fe, the rest, you just go down the list. You literally go down the list.
Yeah.
By the way, I think, just on that note, Kev, wouldn't it be cool if we actually translated all the names of those cities into English so people understood that they're all based on Catholic saints?
That's right. And the Christian missionaries, Juan Diego, for instance.
Saint Diego.
He's got a statue in the Capitol now.
No more San Diego. Saint Diego. San Francisco. Saint Francis. Los Angeles, City of the Angels, right? Everybody kind of knows that one, but I believe it's Our Lady of the City of Angels. So
is
it's
that
actually,
right? Okay.
yeah, it's the full name. So it's actually based on Mother Mary. San Jose, St. Joseph. We have a city dedicated to St. Joseph in the United
Florida?
States. Yeah, that one's in English for whatever reason. We don't do Sante Agostino, but that one's St. Augustine. So they're actually, and by the way, wait, Louisville, right? We've got Louisville, St. Louis, and Louisiana, all based on, again, St. Louis from France. So we have all of these names in the United States that are based off of Catholic saints, and yet we don't do it. Sorry, I know it's a little bit of a tangent, but it's like, I just feel like we'd have a little bit more respect for that if we actually use the English name. So let's keep going down the list.
Or for instance, like even when we came, it was New York or New Hampshire. So there's some of the names were from the old world, but it was new.
Yeah,
establishing the difference.
All of them.
Yep.
All of them. Philadelphia, right? Alexandria. So these were all based on ancient names from the ancient world, but it was meant to be an extension of that world, the Christian world, Christendom, into the New World. But going through just based on the empire levels. So we hit what? We hit the British Empire, the French Empire, of course, had Louisiana Purchase. Just mentioned that. The Spanish Empire. Here's one that everybody forgets. You ready for this? Who owned Alaska?
That was Russia, wasn't it?
The Russian Empire. So the Russian Empire was here on this continent as well. So do you mean to tell me for a second that George Washington was just stupid when he was talking about this, that he didn't understand how complicated the world could be? The Ottoman Empire was still in full swing. So the U.S., one of the first wars that the United States fought was against the Ottomans because of the Barbary pirates, and they were pressing our American sailors and merchants in the Mediterranean into their service under the Ottoman Empire and the Berbers in North Africa. So yeah, George Washington knew exactly what he was talking about. Our ancestors actually were very smart, as it turns out. And they said, you know what? The United States as a country doesn't need to worry about all of this. And you know why? Because we have these two amazing, now at the time we didn't have two, we had one, but we had this ocean that separated us from the rest of the world. And that's why they call it the old world and the old world entanglements. He said the United States doesn't need to get involved in all of this. We can chart our own course through history.